So I lived in Florianopolis, Brazil, which is an island off the coast in the south of Brazil for the summer. It was 2 months long. It was an intensive Portuguese language program, so we weren't allowed to speak any English. Being able to experience a different culture abroad and get credit for it and be able to incorporate it into my education has really been cool because it's helped me take my major and my minor to new levels. The coolest part of being in Brazil for me was when we went to Rio. It's about a 2-mile hike up the stairs to the Cristo Redentor statue, the Christ the Redeemer statue. And it was 97 degrees in Rio that day. We hike up the statue and it was full of people, but it was this absolutely surreal moment of realizing that I'm at one of the world's largest landmarks. I was able to travel all around Brazil. Part of my experience there was able to learn the different accents of Portuguese as well as the different parts and cultures in Brazil. So thank you very much for your support. This past summer, I went to Cuba for 6 weeks. I decided to write a thesis about the country. For me to go down and see firsthand what has happened as a result of everything that I'd studied was very interesting. To be able to experience it and live it for 2 months was just amazing. When I was trying to find scholarships, a lot of the scholarships that I was finding were for like full term or full semester study abroad, and that's why I was so happy when I found the Pitt Advantage Grant. My favorite moment in particular while I was in Cuba was when we went to a slave plantation and they showed me where my ancestors were, and it was just a really emotional day. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to get this grant. Without this, I would not have been able to go to Cuba.
I'm Brett. I'm a senior neuroscience major, and this past summer I went to a country called East Timor, which is the island just north of Australia. We did, under the broad umbrella of service learning, we helped basically rebuild a dirt road up in the southern part of the district of occ in the mountains, and we did a lot of touring the country. We visited a couple memorials, we visited a couple NGOs, we toured with some NGOs. The trip to East Timor gave me the perspective to be able to understand what's going on in a certain part of the world that people haven't heard of. The occ Advantage Grant got me to Timor and back effectively. It paid for all my airfare, which I wouldn't have been able to pay for otherwise. Timor is, I think about it every day. I've got flags, tapestries hanging up all over my room. It's something that's gonna stay with me for the rest of my life, and without you guys, it wouldn't have been possible, so thank you.
I went to Singapore this past summer, and I did biomedical engineering research at the National University of Singapore there. A lot of the countries over there in Southeast Asia are much more underdeveloped than the US, so it's kind of given me a very different perspective on medical devices in the medical industry and healthcare. Without the occ Pitt Advantage Grant, I wouldn't have been able to afford to go on this experience. To all the donors who support the Pitt Advantage Grant, thank you so much for your support and your care and the thought and the effort that you give into supporting Pitt students to go abroad. It has completely changed my view on the world and given me a whole new perspective on life and a deeper understanding of myself. So I thank you times 100.
So this summer I got to go to the University of Bologna in Bologna, Italy, and I did independent research on gesture frequency and infant communication in preterm and full-term infants. I have always wanted to go abroad, so going to Italy was basically a dream come true. I never thought I was going to get to go abroad for almost 3 months, but this has been one kind of a bucket list checkoff, but it also really helped me shape my research. And I was able to have all of these experiences because I was able to have the Pitt Advantage Grant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just thank you.